You're down now, I can see it. You feel like you've hit the bottom of a bottomless pit, a place where the walls are too steep to climb and the darkness is too thick to navigate. Your heart pounds against the weight of every failure, every rejection, every loss. You look around, but no one is there to extend a hand. No one's offering you a rope or a ladder, not even a whisper of encouragement. It's just you and the silence. It's just you and the pain. But let me ask you something. Is this really the end? Or have you just convinced yourself that it is? Because endings aren't handed to you. They're chosen. Right now, you're choosing defeat. But what if I told you that this darkness isn't here to bury you? What if I told you it's here to forge you? Stay with me. Because what I'm about to tell you might just turn this so-called ending into the beginning of something you never saw coming. You weren't always like this. There was a time when you had hope, when you believed in the possibility of a better future. But somewhere along the line, life chipped away at you. Piece by piece, it tore down the foundation you built. Maybe it was betrayal. The people you trusted most turned their backs on you. Maybe it was failure. The plans you poured your soul into crumbled before your eyes. Maybe it was loss, the kind of loss that leaves a permanent scar on your heart. Whatever it was, it broke you. And when you're broken, the world doesn't stop to wait for you to heal. It keeps moving. People keep laughing. The sun keeps rising. But you're stuck. Every day feels the same. A meaningless cycle of waking up, existing, and going back to bed. You wonder why you even bother. This is what the fall feels like. It's not just about losing what you had, it's about losing who you were. Here's the thing about being down. It plays tricks on your mind. It whispers lies that sound like the truth. You're not good enough. You'll never get out of this. No one cares. You repeat these lies to yourself so often that they start to feel like facts. You begin to believe that your worth is tied to your failures, that the person you've become is all you'll ever be. But let me break it to you. The mind is a liar when it's trapped in despair. It will take every wound, every mistake, every setback, and magnify it until it consumes you. The truth? You are not your mistakes. You are not your pain. But if you keep feeding the lies, they'll grow stronger, and they'll choke out any chance of you finding your way back. This is the part no one likes to talk about, the part where you have to make a choice. Do you stay down, or do you get back up? It sounds simple, but it's not. Getting back up doesn't mean erasing the pain. It doesn't mean pretending like nothing happened. It means standing in the wreckage of your life and deciding that you're not done yet. It means looking at the darkness and saying, "You don't own me." No one's going to do it for you. No one's coming to save you. This is your battle. And it starts with a choice. Pain is a powerful thing. It can destroy you, or it can define you. The people who rise out of the ashes aren't the ones who avoid pain. They're the ones who use it. Every failure, every heartbreak, every betrayal, it's fuel. Fuel for the fire inside you. But here's the catch. That fire won't ignite itself. You have to light it. You have to take every ounce of anger, every tear, every sleepless night, and pour it into that flame. Because pain, when harnessed, becomes power. Let's be honest. The world isn't fair. It never has been, and it never will be. You can scream at it, curse it, blame it. But none of that will change the fact that life will kick you when you're down. So what are you going to do? Stay on the ground and let the world trample over you? Or are you going to rise, piece by broken piece, and show the world that it doesn't get to decide your fate? The world doesn't stop for you, but you don't have to stop for it either. Inside you, there's a warrior. You may not see it right now, but it's there. That warrior has been through hell. It's been beaten, bruised, and battered. But it's still standing. Even now, in your darkest moment, that warrior is waiting for you to wake it up. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take one step, then another, and another. Each step you take is a rebellion against the darkness. Each step you take is proof that you're not done yet. Look around you. What do you see? Maybe it's the wreckage of dreams you once held so close, the shards of relationships that once felt unbreakable, or the heavy fog of failure that seems to cover every direction you look. But let me tell you something important. Ashes are not the end. Ashes mean that something burned, yes, but they also mean there's room to rebuild. You see, destruction clears the way for creation. When everything falls apart, it forces you to confront the rawest version of yourself. No masks, no pretenses, no distractions. It's just you, stripped down to the core. And that's where your strength lies, not in the image you project to the world, not in the success or approval you chase, but in the unfiltered, unpolished version of you that remains when everything else is gone. The ashes you're standing in? They're not a graveyard. They're fertile ground for the fire that's about to rise. Let's be real for a second. Staying down feels easier. It's tempting to wallow in the comfort of self-pity, to let the weight of life keep you pinned. Because rising takes effort. It takes courage. But here's what no one tells you about staying down. It costs you everything. When you give up, you don't just lose what you had. You lose what you could have been. Every dream you abandon, every opportunity you pass by, every day you let slip away, it's a piece of your soul that you'll never get back. The world will move on without you. Time doesn't pause for your pain. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the chains holding you down weren't made of steel. They were made of your own fear. So ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price of staying down? Or will you fight for the future that's still waiting for you? Here's the thing about rising. It doesn't happen all at once. It's not some dramatic moment where the clouds part and you suddenly feel whole again. No, it's slower than that. Messier than that. It starts with small victories. Getting out of bed when all you want to do is hide under the covers. Taking one step forward when it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Choosing to try again, even when you're terrified of failing. Each small victory is a crack in the armor of your despair. And with every crack, the light starts to seep through. Don't underestimate the power of those small victories. They're proof that you're stronger than you think, that even in your weakest moments, you have the power to fight back. Let's address something head on. Perfection is a lie. The world will try to sell you the idea that you need to have it all together, that you need to be flawless to be worthy. But the truth? The most powerful people you admire didn't rise because they were perfect. They rose because they embraced their imperfections. Your scars, they're not signs of weakness. They're proof of survival. Your mistakes, they're not failures. They're lessons. Perfection doesn't inspire. Resilience does. Authenticity does. So stop chasing the impossible. Stop waiting until you're ready or fixed or perfect to start rising. Because the world doesn't need another perfect person. It needs you, raw, real, and relentless. When you're down, it's easy to feel isolated, to think that no one understands what you're going through, and maybe they don't. But here's the paradox of solitude. It's in the moments when you're most alone that you discover who you really are. When there's no one to lean on, no one to fight for you, no one to pull you out of the pit, you realize something. You don't need them. Because deep down, you already have everything you need. It's been there all along, buried beneath the doubt, the fear, and the pain. Solitude isn't a punishment, it's a forge, a place where the strongest version of you is born. So don't fear being alone. Embrace it. Use it. Because the person who can stand alone is the person who can stand against anything. Let me ask you, what does the voice inside your head sound like? Is it kind or is it cruel? Does it lift you up or does it tear you down? For most people, that voice is their harshest critic. It reminds you of every failure, every flaw, every reason why you think you're not enough. But here's the secret. That voice is not you. It's a reflection of your pain, your fear, your doubt. And just like any other voice, you can choose whether or not to listen to it. Start rewriting the script. When that voice tells you, you're not good enough, respond with, I'm growing. When it says you'll never make it, Reply, watch me. Your inner dialogue shapes your reality. So make it a voice that empowers you, not one that destroys you. There's a fire inside you. You may not feel it right now, but it's there. It's the part of you that refuses to give up, no matter how hard life gets. The part of you that's still fighting, even when the odds are stacked against you. That fire is your power. But here's the thing about fire. It needs fuel. The pain you've endured, that's fuel. The failures you've faced, fuel. The people who doubted you, the moments you doubted yourself, fuel. Every struggle, every setback, every scar, they're not weights to carry. They're wood for the fire. So stoke it. Let it burn brighter and hotter with every challenge you face. Because that fire, it's what will light your way out of the darkness. When all is said and done, what will your story be? Will it be a tale of someone who gave up when life got hard? Or will it be the story of someone who fell again and again, but always got back up? You have the power to shape your legacy, to leave behind something that outlives you. But that legacy isn't built in the moments when life is easy. It's built in the moments when you're tested. So what will you choose? To let the darkness win? Or to rise and prove to the world and to yourself that you're more than the pain you've endured? So, is this really the end? No. It's not. It's a chapter. A dark one, yes, but a chapter nonetheless. Will you let this chapter define you? Or will you use it as the foundation for something greater? The choice is yours. So stand up. Even if your legs shake, even if your heart aches. Stand up and write the next chapter of your life. Because you're down now, but this is not the end. It's the beginning of the person you were always meant to be. Promise yourself this. You will not let the darkness win. You will not let the pain break you. You will rise. Not because it's easy, not because you have to, but because you owe it to yourself to see what's on the other side of this. You're down now, but you're not out. And when you rise, the world won't know what hit it. This is not the end. That's all. I'm out. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time.